right, buddy. Okay, guys, we are down here for our week 1 video recap with Rusty. So what we're going to do in this video is just kind of go over all the things that we've been practicing with these puppies for the last week so you can see their progress, and also so that you know what you can keep practicing at home once the puppies go home. We're going to be training with these puppies for the next 3 weeks. Once they get home to their forever families, I'm going to recommend that you guys start at week 1. So all the stuff that I'm doing with Rusty now, I want you to start with your puppy once they go home, okay? So we've already started with a little bit of play with Rusty down here in the training space, but I think he is ready to go. I like this little chew that was on the ground, but I'm going to pick that up and steal it from him now. I've got some treats in my pocket here, and I've also got our clicker. So all of the behaviors that we're going to go over in this video, we have videos in our video library that go through a little bit more detailed instructions on what we're doing, how we're training it, and why. So I do encourage you to watch the week 1 videos in the video library so that you have a little bit more background information for all of these behaviors as well. And you'll also have something to reference for when you're practicing these things with Rusty once he goes home. Good boy, look at you, Rusty. So the very first thing that we're going to do today is charge the clicker. So I have the clicker here in my hand, and we're going to start by clicking that clicker and then offering the puppy a piece of food. So we're going to do this about 4 or 5 times. I want the puppy to understand that the sound of the click means that their food reward is coming. So again, make sure you check out the video library because we go into more detail about the clicker, how and why we use it in that video. Good boy, Rusty. So I'm going to do this about 4 or 5 times during week 1, just to get our puppies primed. Yeah, good boy. Very nice, buddy. And after I do 4 or 5 reps of charging the clicker, I'm going to move into our next little exercise, which is following a food lure. So now I'm going to take the food in my hand. I'm going to get Rusty connected to the food, and I'm just going to move him with my food hand. Click and release the cookie after he takes a few steps. So watch that again. See how he's connected to my food hand. After a few steps, click, release the cookie. So I am holding the cookie underneath my thumb in a flat palm, just like this. Then the puppy licks. He's not biting at my fingers. And I can move the dog, right? Good boy, Rusty. You're so smart. Notice how I'm using both hands as well. I'm not just using one hand. I'm going back and forth between my left hand and my right hand, right? Yeah, there we go. And we're going to add one more thing to following the food lure, which is a little bit of name recognition. So I'm going to pair Rusty's name with him following the cookie that's in my hand. Rusty! Yeah, good boy. Ready? Let's do that again. Rusty! Perfect! What a good dog. One more. Rusty! Good job, buddy. All right, this will be our last one. Oh, what do I have? There it is. Rusty! Perfect. He fell over. So those are our first 3 exercises that we teach the puppies during week 1. We teach them about the clicker, so we charge the clicker. We teach them how to follow a food lure in our hand because that's the foundation for teaching all the rest of the behaviors. And we also want to start some name recognition, letting the puppy know, teaching the puppy what their name is so they know what to respond to, right? Look at you, bub. Now we're just going to take a couple seconds and just play a little bit. Give him some pets. Yeah, that's a good boy. Maybe after every few behaviors, I like to just take a little break. You know, tell that puppy how sweet they are. Play with them a little bit. We want to keep training light, especially at this age. We don't want to put too much pressure on, right? So after we take that little break, we are going to move into our next set of training exercises. So this next one that we're going to do, sort of similar to following a food lure, but a little bit different. So this is called the hand target. I'm going to show Rusty that I've got a piece of food in my hand, but watch, this time I'm going to disconnect from him. Did you find a crumb on the ground? touch. Good boy. So I want Rusty to target his nose to my hand. So that's why it's called a hand target. Let him finish that one. Let's do it again. Touch. So when he's following the food lure, he's connected to my hand the whole time. But he needs to reconnect to my hand when we do the hand target. Want to do one more? Touch. Good boy. And we call this behavior touch. So that was really nice. With the hand target, where's your toy? Where's your toy? Good job, buddy. And let's move into our first position change. We're going to work on sit. Okay, so I'm going to have a couple pieces of food in my hand, and I'm going to get him connected to that food lure first. Maybe move him around a little bit, and then lure him into the sit. Yeah. Once he finds it, I'm going to click, give him a cookie, and then, okay, give him a release word. That means he's allowed to move out of that position now. All right, Rusty, let's try it again. Go boy, go boy. Sit. Very nice, buddy. Okay. These treats are crunchy. Trying to break them up into little pieces. Let's do one more sit. So you see how I hook him on the food lure first? Sit. Perfect. Good job, Rusty. Okay. Very nice, buddy. So those are our sits. What are you doing? Huh? What are you doing? Good boy. Now the next behavior that we're going to do is the first step in a go to your mat, and this will turn essentially into a stay. Okay, so let me grab our mat. And I've still got some cookies in my pocket. Yep. Now I'm going to put the mat down on the ground, and when Rusty comes over to it, I'm going to mark that with our clicker, and I'm going to start to feed him more than one cookie this time for holding some duration on this mat. What a good boy. And then our last one, just like the sit, okay, is going to be used to release him off of the mat. You ready, Rusty? Let's try it again. Where's your mat? Oh, there it is. And in week 1, I don't really care if the puppy's sitting, standing, or laying down on the mat. I'll kind of just take whatever they want to give us. Poppy, Rusty, they're laying down on the mat already, which is awesome, so I'm just going to roll with it. Okay. Good job, buddy. And let's do that one more time. For each one of our little training behaviors, I like to do things maybe 3 to 5 reps in a row, and then I move on to something else. I'm not spending, again, these are tiny little babies. I'm not spending more than just a few reps for each behavior, because I don't want the puppy to get bored. I want training to be fun. Good boy. These puppies get really good at their mat. Did you finish that one? Okay. Yeah, very nice, buddy. So we will continue to add steps to that mat behavior each week, but it makes me really happy that Rusty already wants to practice laying down on the mat. So we're going to take another break here again for a couple of seconds. They got this little chew toy down here that they all love. What is that? What is that, Chewy? Ready? Get your Chewy. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? So for the next couple of things here, I'm actually going to get down on the floor with Rusty. Give me that. Give me it. Get it. So I'm going to grab a little blanket for my knees. There we go. And let's reload on some snacks. I'm going to steal that chew away from you again. Give me that. Give me that. All right, so now we're going to cool it down with some handling exercises. So for these exercises, it's basically prepping our puppies for groomer and veterinary care. Our dogs are going to need a lifetime of grooming and veterinary care. We want to make sure that those things stay a relatively neutral to positive experience for the dog, so we can teach them, even as little baby puppies, to start to tolerate some of those things that might need to happen when they go to the groomer and the vet. So we're going to start with some handling. I've got cookies in one hand. I'm petting Rusty with the other, but then I'm going to take this hand, I'm going to bring it under his belly. Yes. And I'm just going to stabilize him in a little stand position. Try that again. Yes. There we go. Going to feed him that cookie, and then, just like all the other ones, okay, I will release him out of that position. Let's try that with the opposite hand now. Okay, so I'm going to kind of bring him in front of me here. Just start with some regular petting. Bring this hand underneath. Just kind of stabilize him. Hold him still. Yes. Feed him a treat. Crunchy, crunchy, crunchy. And then, okay, release him out of position. I might just do that once on each side. Again, I don't want to do these things over and over and over again. I don't want it to be a chore. I want it to be fun. What did you find? Oh, puppies, always finding something. A fuzzy. Okay, so now what we're going to move into is handling some specific body parts. Where are you going, Rusty? Where are you going? What are you doing? What are you doing? All right, I'm going to pick up and just gently massage an ear. Yes. Give him a cookie for that. I've got a few cookies in my hand this time so that I can just move on to the next thing, right? Then I'm going to pick up a little foot, just gently massage that foot. Yes. Good job, buddy. Then I'm going to pick up his tail. Yes. Good boy, Rusty. Okay. And normally I would do both ears, all 4 feet, and tail. I think I can kind of tell that Rusty's starting to get a little full. He's starting to check out a little bit, so I don't want to push it too far, okay? When we practice these things at home, you know, I'm doing a recap video right now. I'm going through everything all at once. I would probably just pick 2 or 3 things to work on, 3 to 5 reps at a time, and then you know, end the training session there. You don't have to do every single behavior all in a row like we're doing for the recap videos. No, we don't have to. Yes, that's a sweet boy. All right, so the very last thing that we're gonna do here is just get Rusty dressed in his harness, okay? So we've got little step-in style harnesses for these little baby puppies. Just like everything else, you know, our puppies aren't born knowing what it means to be dressed in things by humans. So even when they're real little and we put a collar on them for the first time, they might scratch at the collar and be a little weirded out by it. So we just want to teach the puppies that the harness is not a terrible thing. So we're going to get him dressed and then maybe just toss around some cookies on the ground for him. Yeah, they got your harness on. Okay. Good boy, Rusty. Sometimes when we put their harnesses on them in the first week, they act like they're wearing little straitjackets and like they can't move. So we have to like teach the puppies that, you know, when you have your stuff on, it's okay. You can move normally. By next week, Rusty's already going to be in a bigger size harness. I can already tell. This one's a little tight already. Go get it. Yeah. Ready? Crunch, crunch, crunch. All right, so guys, do make sure that you check out all those videos in the video library for week 1 this week. Go get it. You'll find the link to that in your initial confirmation email that you got when you first registered. If you don't have that email anymore, just shoot us an email and we will resend it to you. In that email is also a link to book your Zoom lesson for after your puppy goes home. So make sure that you do that before your pup goes home. And yeah, if you have any other questions, just reach out. And we'll see you next week.